How Medakiepi. Welcome to Hochoka here at the center of St. Joseph's Indian Schools campus. I'm Scott Wooster, your Hochoka host today. And with me today is my good friend, Julie Garcia. And Julie's here to talk a little bit about what I think of as being one of the most talked about and most important positions. There's all the pressure on the job that you're doing, right? But for really, truly, I've been here 32 years, and so much has been put into how do we help kids not only when they're here, but what do we do with those kids when they become adults, when they're gone from the school here. So I'll let you just tell me what your title is.
I am the high school transition specialist.
Okay. And as I said, that position, you didn't know this because you've been at St. Joe's for how long now?
This is going on my 9th year.
9th year here. This position was in the making for a long time. We talked about this in entire campus groups for a long time. How do we support and then data was part of it too. How do we get kids to show that we're having success with them post high school?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the basics with you though. I want to know a little bit about you, where you're from, how you came to be at St. Joe's, who you brought along with you, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, my name is Julie, and I was born and raised in California.
Yep.
I met my husband, moved to Texas, and in Texas we had some friends that told us about St. Joe's,
Okay.
and we liked the fact that we were able to bring our kids with us and have them with us here. We didn't have to rely on daycares and all that good stuff. So that is what brought us here, and we thought we would only be here 5 years.
Yeah.
And now we're going on our 9th year.
Yep. You're locked
Yes.
in now.
Yes, we are.
So when you came up here, your job was what? You and I should say, what did you, and full disclosure, Rigo's your husband, and he works here too.
Yes.
And what were you doing down there? Were you working in childcare already?
We work with childcare. We worked kind of like a nonprofit organization as well. And what brought us here was house parenting.
Yep.
So we started here off as house parenting, and throughout the years we have moved from one home to another, and we ended up in the Rooney home for a couple of years, and that was our home.
Yep.
And then we got the opportunity to apply, to this new position. So because we have 2 kids of our own, Joaquin and Juliana,
Yep.
and we felt we needed to give them more attention, spend more time with them. We spent time with them as house parents with the other kids, but I think it was time for us to dedicate more time for our kids.
Right. So what I've discovered is that there's kind of a house parenting, and people call it different things in different places, but there's sort of a house parenting network around the United States, and it seems like we've been pulling a lot from Texas.
Yes.
There's quite a few people from there, but you end up here. You end up in running a home. You mentioned the Rooney home specifically. Well, that's the one you ran for the last 3 years or so years.
Yes.
And I was the counselor for that home, so I worked pretty closely with you and Rigo. And as a house parent, you can keep the kids, your own kids, in the home.
Yes.
They become family to the boys in the home.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you worked with 7th and 8th grade boys.
Yes.
It was time to move on. Rigo's doing something a little different, and now you're doing something different too. Now you get to be home at night with the kids and
Yes.
help them with their homework and without another 10 or 12
Yes.
junior high boys standing around.
Definitely.
The thing that's a big change for you, but the consistent thing I think for you has been in this transition specialist job. You're working with some of those boys, or will be anyway.
Yeah.
you work with all high school kids. What do you focus mostly on? What's your group? Is it the senior group?
I thought it was a senior group,
Okay.
but I'm all over the place.
Okay.
I do help the seniors. They are my, I would say, most important because they're the ones that are going to transition
Yep.
to adulthood. So I focus with them on applying for financial aid,
Yep.
applying for scholarships,
Yep.
motivating them to go and get all that stuff.
Yep.
Helping them keep their documents in check because they don't know where their birth certificate is, their social security
no clue.
cards.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't know. So I provide them with this little portfolio where I tell them, you're gonna take this with you when you graduate. This is gonna follow you with like your adulthood.
Yep.
And I want you to learn how to be on your own,
Yep.
but you will always have St. Joe's
Yep.
to be there for you. So I help them get their driver's license. I help them get their social security card if they can't get it,
Yep.
their birth certificates. I help them apply for jobs,
Yep.
maintain that job,
Yeah.
how to maintain that job, and kind of those little just tips along the way
Yep.
of how to keep consistency and don't slack off and
Yeah.
yeah.
And be prepared for life outside of St.
Yes.
Joe's. And I said it earlier, that was kind of our knock on ourselves. St. Joe's did a lot of things very well, but we always knew that we could improve in certain places, and one of those places to improve was in getting the feet under these kids when they graduate, because we support them when they're here. And sometimes the question was, well, do we support them too much? Are we making it too easy? And then when you go out into the real world, sometimes you fail because you've had it too easy. But as a transition person, we have this year there are 9.
We have 10.
10 seniors this year.
10 seniors, yes.
And I think, again, early on, we were sort of locked into the idea that we needed to get every kid college ready, that they needed to come out of high school ready for that experience. And what we discovered was that for 100 different reasons, they weren't ready for that experience alone. So you show them colleges, right? I mean, there are
Yes.
college trips, that type of thing.
Throughout the year, we'll go on 3 or 4 college visits. I try to take them to what they call like senior tech days, where they can actually choose a program that they're sort of interested in.
In a tech school.
In a tech
Yep,
school, yeah.
Yep.
And then they go and they explore more about it. So
Yep.
I want them to get that experience and see what campus life is like. So we walk around campus, we get a tour, and I tell them, try to get a feel. Do you see yourself here? Do you see yourself walking around? What is it that would, get you scared? What would run you off? Or could you do this? Do you see yourself there actually going to class and succeeding? So
Right, because if you show up on a college campus, you have no notion of what that looks like. Your family didn't go to college, which is the case with a lot of the kids. I have a lot of parents tell me, I want my kid to be the first one to graduate from college, but they've never seen a campus, and I've seen them plopped in the middle of that, and it goes nowhere. And I assume you're in touch with most campuses have some type of Native American centers or places where they can get scholarships, get that support once they're on campus.
Yes, starting January, throughout the year, there's opportunities for scholarships, but starting in January, there are so many that are focused a lot on Native Americans. And like you said, we are all connected. If I hear of one, I will forward it to another school. And if they have scholarships that they offer, they forward it to St. Joe's. And so we have this network.
Yeah.
And it's all to help the children. So the more that we, get along with or
Engage with.
the more opportunities we have. And then the kids aren't so afraid to step out because they're starting to get to know them little by little.
Yeah. Yep. And they have options, tons of options for what they
Yes.
can do. Um, and they want our students. I mean, they want
Yes.
they're coming to you because they want to have our students go to those schools, and you're the interface with that. You are
Yes.
you're the point person,
Yes.
which I find when we used to talk about this in the old days. I'll admit I found it daunting. I don't want to be responsible for having to be that point person who's in charge of
Yes.
all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. You're taking on that role and
Yes.
jumped into it and said, "Let me see what I can do with
Yeah.
this thing and help these kids out and get them where they need to be."
Yes. It's definitely a lot easier than I thought because, like you said, I have worked here for so long that now the students know me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so we have this relationship and they can just email me and say, hey, Miss Julie, I need help with
Mm-hmm.
this. Miss Julie, I am freaking out. I
Yeah.
need, can you help me with this? So they email me. We set up a time and then they come to my office
Yep.
and then that's where we lock in.
Yep.
We are doing stuff for them, yeah.
You're meeting with them one on one.
I'm meeting with them one on one, and then I also have senior meetings
Yep.
where there's 10 of them, so it's hard to really focus in on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I do prefer one on one
Yeah.
where they come and they tell me, you know what, college is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in getting a job.
Yep.
I'm interested in this. Okay, whatever it is, let's again lock in.
Yep.
Let's do it. What do we need? What are the requirements? What are the steps? And I'm there to kind of just guide them and help them, not fall off the track that they're on.
Yep. You expose them to different services. So I'd assume military is another one. If there are
Yes.
recruiters that are coming to the high school, you might try to help guide them to visit with the recruiters.
Yes.
You're probably working with Chelsea up at the high school,
Yes.
and at least talking about scholarships and some of that stuff that gets really complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But she handles that stuff so
Yes.
well, that piece of it. Taking a job after high school, whether it's for life or as a gap year before something
Yeah.
else or whatever, all those things. But another part of that is you're also tying in the parents into all of that. There's just so much of that to
Yes, there
manage
is.
where because you have to go with the parents' wishes. I mean, the kid might tell you they want to do one thing, and the parent says, no, my dream for my kid has always been to have them do something completely different.
Yes.
That can get tricky, so you're probably navigating that in some cases too.
Yes.
And this is trial by fire year. This is your first year.
This is my first year, yes.
Yeah. Okay, now you mentioned that not only do you work with the seniors, which is the focus, that's our vanguard, that's what we want to see where they're going to go.
Yeah.
What else who else are you working
I
with?
work freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and freshmen, well, any age pretty much. We have the driver's ed program
Oh,
on
yeah.
campus.
Yep.
So I help them, sign up for that. Once they finish the course, then I help them get other documents because, again, they don't know where to get these documents.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost the documents or they don't even know what a social security card
Right.
is. So I help them, I let them know, I inform them, this is what you need.
Mm-hmm.
This, and this. And then once we get this ready and you complete driver's ed, then we go and get your permit.
Right.
And then we have that for a couple months, fulfill the requirements for that, and then we go back and get their driver's licenses.
Yep.
And then some students that are not in driver's ed and are just wanting to get like a state ID,
Yeah.
same thing with them.
Yep. That same process.
Yes, and then there's students that want to get jobs. And so they don't know where to start, what to do. So again, I tell them, you know what, let's focus on what is it that you are interested in. Let's find a place around here that kind of provides that. Go fill out an application. And again, the whole process of filling out the application is scary process for them. They look at it and they're just, oh my God, what is this? So then I'm there to help answer those small little questions, help them guide them, finish the application, turn it in, and then it's their first job, so they don't know what to do, what they're supposed to be doing. Kids nowadays are always on their phone, so I say be respectful, dress nice, appearance is important. Don't be on your phone, be responsible. All these things will follow you because, how you are in one job will follow you to the next job because you're going to need references.
Yeah.
So then even that, they don't know that what they do here will follow them now that they're going into adulthood. So
So you're teaching those job skills.
yes.
Okay, so ultimately we want all of our kids to at least have a driver's license if they're not driving our cars to school every day. And I always say to the kids, why would you not want to have the independence of driving a car to school every day rather than riding the bus? We'd like to have all our kids working, a job if we can, and if their grades are good.
Yes.
So you're the point person for all of that stuff too, which is, again, I think is pretty daunting. Right now, next week, right before we came over to do the interview, I got 2 emails from you, and they're both, they're great because they're about a big part of what we do here. And you talked about jobs, but something that we do in the high school program that's different from 1st through 8th. 1st through 8th, we have some kids, one house stay on campus, but by and large, they don't have a lot to do. They go to school each day and can go to the pool, things like that. But if you're going to stay in the summer on campus for the month of June and part of July, what do you have to do?
You have to have a job.
Yep.
You have to have a job lined up. So St. Joe's offers some jobs on campus. We have some positions, whether it be custodial or janitorial, helping at the school, making copies, filing, stuff like that. So we also have summer camp, and they need summer camp counselors. So I have to help the kids fill out an application, and then go through a mock interview so they're not as nervous to go to the real interview.
That's in a few days.
Yes.
The mock interviews,
Yes, the mock interview will be on Monday, and then right after on the 1st, we have a job fair where the supervisors on campus will have those interviews for the children looking to hire students for the summer. And then students who are not hired on campus, I have to, help them find a job off campus. And so again, we go throughout town and look at things that they are interested in, and then just help them get a spot in the summer program to be here.
That all makes sense.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, but I do, and there's so much more that goes into that. And when you're doing it day to day, it's hard to keep track of everything that you probably do, but everything that you've said, those are monumental things. And I said it at the beginning, I'll say it again now. The transition piece is so big, and it's so broad what you do, but it's so vital to those high school kids and for the young kids who are going to be there before they know it. They're going to be up there working with you soon enough. The kids grow up so fast now. But I also want to say, I said this off air too, but I think that they've got a good person in that position because the kids trust you. They're not afraid to call you up, to text you, to
no, they do not
to email you. You have good relationships with them from when you were their house parent. You were like a mother to them, but you're also a friend to them, and they trust you. You have a good sense of humor. All the things that these kids need. I wouldn't have darkened the door of my guidance counselor or a transition specialist when I was in high school for anything. It just wasn't set up that way. And I think that's such an important piece, is that the kids have to know that you're approachable. And I find you very approachable for the kids.
Yes.
And you're approachable for this here that we did today. So it's been a good talk. I thank you for coming on. And
thank you.
Thank you for what you do for the kids, too.
Yes, thank you. like what I do. Yeah.
Yep.
I love my boys. I love my girls.
Yep. You've
Yeah.
said that since you started here.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So we'll thank our audience, too, for joining us here at Ho-Chokwe at the center of St. Joseph's Indian Schools campus. And you can find us wherever you find your podcasts on the internet. So until next time, you're going to do it with me. We're going to stay centered. Just get them hands. Yep. Stay centered.
Stay centered.
That's it.